our next speaker is actually from Wakanda, and she's a warrior. She's also a therapist. She's got a degree, a master's degree. She's studied in the United States of America, and she's from Kenya. Like I said, she's from Wakanda, and her name is Berther Ondiek. Please, let us welcome Berther.
Well, I'm not from Wakanda. Thank you so much to the ICHRRF organization for organizing this wonderful conference. I am beyond honored to be one of the speakers here today. And thank you to my point of contact, Mr. Kofi Sapong, for sharing about this organization and the work that you guys are doing. So thank you so much. I have been tasked to speaking about the Congo war crimes and genocides, and without wasting time, we'll go ahead and get started. Now, if I was to ask you what you've heard about Congo, what you've read about Congo, a lot of you, if not all, will talk about the atrocities in Congo. You probably talk about the war, the child soldiers, you talk about the death. I mean, we can go on and on and on. And you would not be wrong, because statistics would talk about the same thing. Did I get it?
Yeah.
There we go. Statistics states that over 6 million approximately have died from the war in Congo, with 5.4 million people dead in the First and the Second War of Congo. Over 5.7 million people have been displaced both internally and externally, with Uganda hosting majority of those refugees, and Rwanda and Tanzania as well. We also do know that the US hold about 18,000 on a yearly basis of refugees from Congo. It is also documented that about 48 women are raped every hour in the Democratic Republic of Congo. 30 to 40,000 children are also believed to be involved as child or children soldiers in Congo. Attacks in 2021 and 22 documents that about 529 people were killed and 321 people were injured. That is between 2021 and 2022. And that means that even in the recent modern days, the war is ongoing. And then we have again, most recently, August 30th, 2024, government troops shot and killed at least 57 people in the Goma area. Statistics, it's very important, right? It gives us a snapshot of what happens around our world. But I want to introduce something to you guys as we move on with the presentation. Oftentimes we view the war and the genocides from numbers. And if we only spend time focusing on statistics, focusing on the numbers, then we lose sight of the people. And so I want to introduce you to take these numbers and put them to the side, and I want to introduce you to the people, the culture of Congo. If I was to ask you who you are, if you were to ask me who I was, I'll tell you my name is Berther Ondiek. And you'd be curious, your name is different. Where are you from? And I'll tell you I'm from Kenya. And you probably ask me what my name means, and I can go on and tell you about my country. Culture is who we are, and culture outweighs the statistics. And so as we talk about the Congo, as we learn about the genocides, as we learn about the atrocities that are going on in Congo, the most important thing is to learn about who these people are from a cultural perspective. What their customs are, what their attitudes, their rituals, their language, what they speak. And then at the end of this presentation, I will also talk about the psychological impacts of the war. So the Congo people, like any other African country, do have this kind of system. They do believe in gender roles, which women do play a particular role and men do play a particular role as well. They do have values such as respect, leadership, sincerity, honesty, family, community. They do have a family system, which is oftentimes community-based. father, mother, child, extended family as well. They do heavily focus on religion, which we will talk about a little bit. They do value food. A lot of their connections, things that bring people together, oftentimes is food. They do have morals, and they teach right from wrong. They speak several languages. They do have art, and they do have rituals as well. So as we think about the wars, we think about the people in Congo, I want you to look at these things because this is who they are beyond just the numbers we read there a while ago. So languages. These are the most common languages in Congo. We see that, and recognize that even though this war happened a while ago, there's still rifts between the different tribal groups as well. Second is the emergence of the rebel groups, and the rebels group have become very, very powerful in this part of Congo, especially Goma and Kivu, and they're taking control of this country and inciting power. And this has caused so much rift and tension, leading to the war that we currently have in Congo at the moment. We've also talked about the fight for natural resources. Congo is rich in gold. We read that in the news, and so there's this tension going on where a lot of people want to have a piece of that natural resources, and so there's internal fights for that, but also external fights where we have foreign countries coming in to fight and have a piece of that natural resources as well. Another thing that really stood out to me, I was doing my research, was the lingering effects of colonialism as well, right? We do recognize that even though we have Congo, they have their own political system, there's still a lot of governance is being done in the way that they were colonized, and this doesn't quite work with how the country runs at the moment, and so that's something to note. And then things like corruption, regional aspect too, plays a role into what causes the war in Congo. As a therapist, I have spent majority of my time working with the Congolese refugees since my time in college. And till date, a huge population of my clients are Congolese refugees. And so this is something that really touches closely to me. One of the impacts of the war is trauma. Again, think about just the statistics, what we talked about. If you look at those numbers, look at this experience, we talk about death. Anytime we lose people, somebody has to go through grief. Right? Anytime we go through tough experience, we talk about rape, we talk about children being soldiers, those are disturbing and distressing experiences. So one of the things that we see as an impact of this war is trauma, and which leads to depression and PTSD, depression, anxiety, and PTSD as well. Another thing that we see is identity crisis. Oftentimes when we have a lot of refugees move to a different part of the world, they lose who they are. There's no sense of belonging. Again, I used this example earlier. If I was to introduce myself as Berther, that's who I am. And you probably ask me, what does your name mean? It's Kenyan. It's from the Luo tribe, right? That is who I am. So to move from where I am and lose that and go to a different place, I kind of lose a sense of belonging, right? And so we see a lot of issues with identity crisis as well. Another issue we see is cognitive delays. Again, think about young children being relocated, moved to a different area. Sometimes they don't get to grow and hit every milestone a child gets to meet. They are separated from their families, and so this really affects how they develop as children, up even to teenage years, and so we do see a lot of cognitive delays as well. Another thing is substance use and self-harm, and this we see a lot with teenagers, especially in my experience, due to your time, your knowledge, your expertise, your wisdom to champion for the rights of the people, not just in Congo, but all over the world. Thank you so much.